reasons that may seem inexplicable now but will become clear very soon, this reading is titled Tuna Can. People often ask me how I got started writing my first book, The Dim Sum of All Things. I was working full-time as an office manager downtown at Mother Jones magazine, and I had wanted to write a book for years, but I was deep in the habit of procrastinating. And I never got any actual writing done. I just fantasized about what I would wear to my first reading. So I began to write down the things that were happening at work. For instance, one day the computer system in our office seemed particularly sluggish. It turned out that the magazine's executive editor had so many thousands of crotch-shot cookies jamming our traffic and so many JPEGs of Asian girl-on-girl nipple-sucking action stored on his computer that he eventually crashed our server. Word of the editor's pervy proclivities spread through the halls faster than the human papilloma virus on spring break at Fort Lauderdale. The itchy, burning flames of scandal were further fanned after an unsuspecting male intern caught a horrifying glimpse of that executive editor's freakishly shaped junk in the men's room at the urinal. Of course, the intern ran immediately to tell us all about it. He stammered about our boss's dick being grotesquely fat, yet shorter than his pinky finger. We clamored for more details, but the intern was so traumatized he was tongue-tied. Finally, he took a few breaths, wiped a tear from his terrified young eyes, and he blurted out 2 simple words. 2 words to describe the executive editor's penis. 2 short words that told us more than anyone wanted to know. 2 words that defied any description we had ever imagined in regards to anyone's penis. What were these 2 words? Tuna can! Those words, tuna can, would never be innocent for me again. And I knew then that I had to keep writing things down because I couldn't make this shit up. A lot of the staff there consisted of 20-somethings who had just moved to San Francisco from either the Midwest or back east. And in their excitement, they referred to the city as Frisco and were frequently stymied by words that they encountered here. They called the burrito place Palazzo Bellagio. And someone asked me once if she could pay her late PG&E bill by walking down to the place with the red neon sign that said Power Exchange. I said yes. By all means, go right ahead. We were a workplace full of people who loved words and often used them against each other. I know I was supposed to finish this article this weekend, but Saturday I went on a date and Sunday I came down with something. So is it okay that I didn't do it? It's only a 5-second sidebar. What did you come down with? Sexually transmitted stupidity? Ah, hi, my son is a new editor here. Do you know where I might find him? Me? How should I know where he is? I mean, I'm not the parent of a hardworking, well-liked, well-respected, award-winning editor. But then again, neither are you. I wrote everything down, unaware that I was gathering information that would eventually find its way into a book. I had a lot of scrawled-on scraps of paper and Post-it notes jamming my pockets. At home, I squirreled away pages of typed words and had notebooks full of paragraphs with crossed-out phrases, arrows, and asterisks pointing to other pages that said things like, insert paragraph 4, or go back to the top of the page, and numerous scribbles and abbreviations that meant no sense to anyone but me. I worked and reworked these tiny and lengthy descriptions, run-on sentences, and imagined scenes for 2 years. 2 years of saying no to going out, 2 years of spending Friday nights at Copy Central, Xeroxing away the best drinking years of my life. But I knew that I had to make sense of it all and connect all these paragraphs and pages into a book, because if I got run over by the Moonie in the crosswalk, no one would ever be able to decipher anything I had written, and all my hard work and obsessing would have been for nothing. So basically, I have the shittiness of the San Francisco Muni system to thank for writing my first book. I was so afraid I would get killed that I had to hurry up and become a published writer before I became pedestrian number 7 to be flattened by the 14 Mission bus. That year in the cool gray city of love. Now, 3 books later, I always try to remember that being a writer is still about keeping yourself open and vulnerable to the newness and energy of words in unexpected places. For instance, the other day at a Chinese restaurant that also served Mediterranean food, I saw on the menu for $4.99, small homos plate. The Truman Capote special. And recently, in the real estate pages, showcase house with great views, huge dick for entertaining. My daughter and I were recently at a Chinese restaurant, and she was checking out the placemat with the Chinese horoscopes. She asked me what year I was born, and when I told her, she traced her finger over the picture of the rooster. Excited, she said, "Mommy, are you a cock?" I loved her innocence over this word. She's 7 years old, and I was pleased to know that she would discover the alternate meaning of this word someday in the future in her own time. I savored her well-intentioned desire to know the meaning of things. In her world, where the words cock and tuna can are plain and unsullied. I looked into her wide-eyed, sweet face, and I responded with the only possible answer. Yes, Mommy is a cock.